The conference activity, I feel, is of a great importance, and Ethiopia has been able to reap better results from this particular conference, which has been called starting May 1 to 3rd, which is conducted in African Union as well as the United Nations Commission for Africa Hall. So we have been witnessing that this is a remarkably important, spot or time, and Ethiopia has achieved great in preparing this particular conference here in Addis Ababa. And as well, it is something of symbolic importance for the nation, where it is something which signals that the country is moving to better direction, where democracy is starting to prosper in this country. And I would say that it would also call for the ears and eyes of citizens of the world that it is celebrated in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. And it also tells that Ethiopia has registered a remarkably important developments in its politics and also in its media. And we are witnessing that journalists are being courageous, are becoming courageous enough and coming out of their comfort zone, working towards the betterment of our society, for the better practice of journalism, and for the free and responsible practice of journalism. And that is a good development. And that is what this workshop symbolizes.
What's the main impact of this conference?
The impact of this conference is somehow incredibly great for this nation, because our democracy is something which is a recently developed phenomena in a sense that it only dated to 2 decades or 3. And no matter how those even beginnings of the democratic government of that period, there have been lots of hiccups or limitations in the overall practice of the democracy and also in the overall practice of the media in this country. So for that, this tells that there has been a change starting last year, where the new government of Dr. Abiy came to power, and there have been lots of improvements, and journalists are also having the courage to freely cover stories, tell stories to the citizens, educate the citizens, and also sometimes they challenge government officials for the issue of public interest and reasons. And these are good developments. And this day's celebration, or this day's particular conference, is an indication that Ethiopia is moving to the right direction, and is telling that Ethiopia is becoming one of the most exemplary countries maybe in the future to be named for good or decent democratic practices. And it's having a great impact for the practitioners as journalists, for we academicians, and also for politicians and for any other stakeholders who are interested in working for media freedom and the freedom of speech and expressions. No matter how the developments in our media and in our politics, we have been witnessing a lot of change, especially in the past 1 year after the coming of Dr. Abiy's administration. But still there are lots of challenges which have been the remnants of the past experiences, or our past experiences. So we need to work towards addressing them. What are these challenges? One of the challenges is professionalism challenge. So we need to work towards enriching the profession by educating our citizens, and also by graduating citizens who are competent enough to work in the media, so that they work for the freedom of speech, they work for the freedom of expression and the freedom of press. On the other hand, journalists are having problems in relation to something related to their psychological dimensions, where self-censorship has been a problem in this country. Not only in this country, in many of, or in all over the world, no matter how the differences, or the degree of self-censorship. So journalists should come out of the self-censoring themselves, but tell the truth to the society, so that our society would learn and would become part of the democratic and development process, so that this country would prosper. The other thing is, the media managers who work in different media need to handle their activities or their leadership with knowledge, the appropriate knowledge in the field. That's in the journalism and media studies. So this is the question of the day. So I hope that this would be answered in the due course, maybe in the coming periods. At the same time, government officials need to learn that the access to information is something which has to be guaranteed in this nation, because it has been guaranteed in the constitution, it has been guaranteed in other proclamations and legal documents. So we need to abide ourselves and live up to the expectation of our society. So the people have the right to know. So we need to learn that and give every piece of information which is of public importance. Our doors should be open and tell to our society that what is happening. If that is done, we are able to have transparent government, we are able to have accountable government, and that is how our country would move forward and can become one of the strongest democracies in the world. And that's what everybody should strive for. So, the overall, the media management should be improved because of academic or skill gaps and other issues. So the government also should give much attention or keen attention towards addressing those issues. If these all issues are addressed, those challenges that I've mentioned so far would not be problems as such, and would solve the country's overall practice in the media as well as in the politics.